What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 55 of The Climb here with Luzenak. I've said that episode at a very weird pace, and to be honest, I've been playing Football Manager at a little bit of a weird pace recently. Of course, there wasn't an episode yesterday. I apologise. We're not back for a live comfortable header either today. Instead, we're back for the game against Nantes. I decided to do this one because I think it's going to be quite big in terms of the league. We're at the end of January, and I thought we would take today as an opportunity to just talk about some of the young players coming up through the team, a few of the players who are out on loan at the moment in Liga. Just kind of a little catch-up, I suppose, as to what's been going on with some of the teams further down the pecking order, or rather, the players further down the pecking order. As you can see up here, we're towards the top of the pecking order, currently 4th in the league and looking very, very good. Since we last here, we have played only 4 games in the league, or 3 games in the league, in fact, today's game being the 4th. We have had a winter break of sorts. It wasn't a very long break. We've been going through the Coupe de France, and we're doing okay. We're into the quarterfinals, everyone, and in typical fashion, the Lyon game that we have there has decided to get sandwiched between the Lyon and PSG games, which I was eyeing up for tomorrow's episode. That's a bit annoying. Thank you, Football Manager, for forever putting dents in my plans. We'll figure that out. That's tomorrow's problem. Tomorrow, Jack, you can worry about that. In terms of since we were last here, we beat Metz 3-0 in the first game. This was a nice little result. Harvey Elliott with the first, Huskarich with the second, and we got a third and a very, very sexy goal, if I might say so myself. Harvey Elliott with an incredible run through for the last goal in this game, but a really good performance. Pretty convincing as well. The 2 early goals kind of steadied the ship, very much got us on our way. And we've been on a really good winning run. A clean sheet as well to boot. It gets better, doesn't it? Yeah, a really good performance. One of those performances where I didn't even make a sub. That's how well we were doing. Anyway, the next game we had was in the Coupe de France. It was against Les Herbiers. The F. I've had far too much fun saying that awfully. It finished 4-0, lower league opposition. We should be winning that. Another game that we should be winning is the game against Angers. And in this game, we took the lead early on through Ari, and you thought with that goal, maybe the floodgates would open, maybe it would turn into a bit of a rout. No, that was the game. It finished 1-0, everyone, and from there we went into another midweek distraction against Red Star, where again won convincingly. Ari, Barry Marsden, and Ortiz with the goals. We then took on Monaco in perhaps the most difficult of the 3 league games that we've had, and in fact in this game we went a goal behind. Billy Gilmore, the former Chelsea youngster, at least in this Football Manager universe, with the goal in the 51st minute. We replied not long after. Felipe Jonathan, the left back, the captain. He popped up with a goal 3 minutes later, and he was involved in the second goal of the game for us. Harvey Elliott on the end of it. And, as you've seen from these kind of highlights, Harvey Elliott's been blooming good for us recently. A really good impact sub, and a player who has been attracting a little bit of interest from afar, as have a few of our players. Anyway, most recently we took on this team, whose name I'm not going to try and say. We'll just call them USCL. They're in the 3rd tier of France. They took us to extra time. Give them some credit. But in the end, Harvey Elliott and Lopez on off the bench to get the goals for us. So, as I mentioned already, we're in the quarterfinals, folks, which is kind of exciting. In terms of our league position, of course, with 3 wins in a row, you would hope and expect for some change. There hasn't been any, and in fact, today we have a game that is a later game in the game week. A win here could see us go up to 3rd. A few people mentioned in the comments section about Nantes, who, of course, are still our affiliates for some reason. No idea why this affiliation hasn't been cancelled. I might see how long I can keep it going. But yeah, they are doing really well. Someone said they must have had a takeover. Whilst they have had a takeover, it's not a tycoon. They've just been really well managed. And in fact, this year, their media prediction was 11th. So for them to be up in 3rd is kind of impressive. And to an extent, it kind of puts us to shame, doesn't it, with the 4th place in League 1. But a chance here to continue on this fine winning run. As I mentioned, for Nantes, they will be looking to win this game to go as high as 5th. So this is quite a significant game towards the top of the table. Just a little bit of kind of, I guess, sidetracking news. The European Golden Boy, not a competition I thought that we would be involved in, or an award I thought we'd be involved in rather, but we have been involved in it. And Gacic has actually got it. I was taken aback. I didn't even get a news item predicting he would be up there. But fair play to Miroslav. You're the golden boy, mate. He's not scored yet in the league for us, which is a bit concerning. I feel like they've given him the award slightly prematurely here. But he does look good. He's got really good potential. We'll see if he can do something today. Maybe on off the bench. In terms of a little bit of team news, we are battling with injuries as well. Sardella's been out for the last couple of weeks. Mbaye So is currently out injured. Barry Marsden as well, dislocated his shoulder, out for up to 2 months. That is disastrous. as you can see as well, he has not been happy. Of course, we are at the end, or towards the end of the January transfer window. Marsden's had a fair bit of interest in him. That has all died off since he dislocated his shoulder. Funnily enough, dislocated shoulders scare away Manchester United. Elsewhere, Ari is not happy. He's still wanting a move. Some people asked the day before yesterday's video about why Ari was so unhappy. He wants a move, and the teams who are interested are bidding kind of £8 million for him. He offers us way too much for £8 million. If he can get 5 goals and 6 assists whilst crying every week, imagine what he'll do when he's happy. So, yeah, I'm quite keen to keep him around unless we were to get some kind of stupendous offer. I don't see him going anywhere, to be honest, because I just think he's a really, really good player for us. And, there have been a few other players with interest shown in them, but we've managed to fend that off. And I've also managed to fend off the urges that I have. The urges to sign players. Yes, in fact, we've not signed anyone bar one player in this January transfer window. And the reason for signing this player was simply that we've got all these injuries to centre-backs, and I felt like we needed one player for cover. I now need to apologise to him because we've forgotten to register him, which is a good start. Milan Deco, he's not Italian, don't worry, he is Dutch. And, he's a bit of a weird freak of nature. I feel like I've signed him as an emergency backup because I think he kind of looks cool in terms of his attributes rather than anything else. Now, he does have the mentals of a peanut. I'm going to hold my hands up and admit it. But look at those technicals. 17 marking, 19 tackling, 16 positioning, 15 jumping reach. You know what? As a 6th choice emergency backup centre-back, especially with all the injuries we've got at the moment, with So out injured and Marsden out injured, I don't even think he's that bad. So, exciting times there. As I said, I do want to talk a little bit about some of the players who have been out on loan this year, because we have got quite a stacked group of youngsters, and whilst there's a fair few players here who have ability that is definitely your way off the first team, there are a few players really knocking on the door for next season. So let's talk about them. The first is Jurgen Broyce, who of course is a Belgian youngster who signed last year for £775,000. He's been on loan at Angers. He's not had the best of form, but he's managed to get 17 league appearances. And he is improving, as you can see here. So really exciting times for him. He is only 17 as well. And he's a young, I say he's a young 17-year-old. He's not even halfway to 18 yet. So exciting times there. But he's not the most exciting of the Dutch youngsters. I've said Dutch youngster. He's not a Dutch youngster, Jack. He's a Belgian youngster. The most exciting, albeit he's out at the moment, is Anthony Baalman, who is a couple of years older, playing for Nantes, who of course are doing very well in the league right now. 4 goals, 1 assist, 2 player of the matches. There's an evil part in my brain that wants to recall him in the hope it will spite Nantes and they will struggle to keep their spot in the top 4. At the same time, they're treating him very well. He's developing very well. I can't really justify bringing him back. So that's kind of exciting. 2 Belgian youngsters looking very, very good. Sho Otani, the young Japanese player we picked up right towards the end of the window, of course, on loan at Toulouse. 10 appearances he's had for them, although he's been involved in a lot of international duty as of late. So that's kind of been a lack of appearances for him there. But he's improving a lot, which is obviously exceptional to see. Vaiani looks like he could be ready for the first team next year. He's been on loan at Alaves this year, the Ivorian. And to be honest, despite his lack of acceleration and pace, he kind of has the agility of a dumpster truck. He looks not too bad, the Ivorian. You can see here, he's not got an immense goal-scoring record, but he has been improving. I know the red arrows don't give that impression. He has been. I promise you he's been improving. I have no reason to lie. But he doesn't look that bad. He really doesn't look that bad. And he has some quite nice flexibility. I wouldn't say he's perhaps on the level of a Baumann, but definitely worth consideration. Kouyaté this year has been on loan at Norwich in the Premier League. He's not doing too badly. A 7.04 average rating for them. If we just look at where Norwich are in the league, they're rock bottom. I was going to say, I didn't know exactly where they were in the league. However, every time I get a match report, they seem to be losing. Despite that, he's managing to sit on a 7.04, so give him some credit. And, 2 more youngsters we'll cover real quick. The first is Laurent. I'm not trying it. That is a battle I am not going to win saying that last name. And I know someone wrote in the comments how to say it. It went over my head. Please help me. He's on loan at FC Lorient, though. He's playing in Ligue 2. He's doing quite well in Ligue 2. I don't think he's quite of the quality of some of our other centre mids, but definitely keeping a keen eye on his development. And alongside the players out on loan, of course, we have got players at the club. Obviously, Tanguy was the pick of the bunch of this year's youth intake. He's looking pretty good as a centre attacking mid. Has avoided injury as of late, which I suppose is a bonus for an injury-prone player. Obviously, Kevin Moos, the Great Dane himself. Look at this development, folks. Oh, my word. I absolutely love it. If we look at his all-time development as well, I am cautiously optimistic. He joined us last year for 2.1 million. I feel like I might need to start trying to find a space for him in the first team, or at least giving him 1 or 2 appearances on off the bench in the not-so-distant future. Of course, a few players who are in the first team, kind of training with the first team, but not actually starting for us are Lionel and also Brahim. We just call you Brahim. It's easier, Brahim. It's just, I'm going to get it wrong, mate. I don't want to offend you. These 2 youngsters are good. They're developing a little bit. Their mentals haven't improved as much as I would like. The kind of mentoring or the tutoring. What is it? It's mentoring now, isn't it? It was tutoring. It's now called mentoring. Just doesn't seem as effective anymore in Football Manager. It used to be kind of a cheat code. It used to be really easy just to plaster any personality on a youngster. Unfortunately, Lionel here, he's still temperamental. I do feel like it has impacted his development. Of course, he's only joined us for 4.5 million. The reality is he is still 17 years old. He's still really, really young. So I'm not going to jump to any conclusions just yet, but that is a small kind of concern, I suppose, in the back of my mind, the fact that that mental kind of personality could prove some problems when it comes to development, but we're going to stick with him. And yeah, a load of other youngsters who are perhaps a little further away from the first team have had some pretty interesting interest shown in them. You can see here, Abdu, wanted by Man City, Tottenham and Lyon. This guy's a weird one. I mean, I've promised him that we'll sell him for 31 million if the bid comes in. I don't think anyone's bidding 31 million for this guy. If they did, I don't think you guys would blame me selling him for 31 million. He's the kind of typical example of one of those players who looks really good. He kind of has all the gear but no idea, I suppose. He has really good attributes in certain areas, but he doesn't really suit anything. He's not really got an idea of what he wants to do with his career path. He doesn't have the aerials to play centre-back for me. The natural fitness is a bit of a concern. If he wanted to play wing-back, 1 flair, 5 off the ball, 5... He's not a wing-back. And like, as a defensive mid, I just don't think he's that good there either. It's difficult, I suppose, is the simple way of looking at it. But he is 16. We're going to stick with him. You know, there's no real need to sell him. Although, as I said, if 31 million came in, I ain't going to say no to him. But yeah, a few of our other youngsters having some interest shown in them. You can see it. Oluwabi is not happy with me denying a transfer. I can't even remember. Who was interested in you? Who are you unhappy about me denying you the ability to talk to? Man City. Man City are after all our youngsters, it turns out. It's getting very annoying. We'll deal with it as we can. And of course, Diamande, who was kind of interesting and exciting player that we signed at the start of the year from Bastia for 275k. You might remember there was that long list of youngsters. He was on that list, perhaps the best of the players we picked up. He's developing okay as well, so keep an eye on him. He's only 15. He's not even old enough to play in the French Football League yet because there's a rule that you have to be 16. So he's got to wait for his debut. He does look pretty tasty though, and I think with the right development, with a bit of patience, a bit of training, he could turn into a little superstar. I feel like for 275k, we may have got ourselves a really good player. Anyway, that's just a little bit of a catch-up, I suppose, on stuff going on in the reserve team, some of the players coming up and through. In terms of first team news, obviously, I've mentioned the injuries and such. For this game, I am going to drop Sesko, which might seem controversial, but as of late, I've really kind of come to realise and appreciate how good Huskaric is in the team. So we're going to be dropping him into the squad. And additionally, Harvey Elliott, as I mentioned when we were going through the results, has been going through some really good form. I'm quite keen to see this guy continue to play and continue to develop. Today he is going to play a shadow striker role for us. Although it's a role that when you look at the circles, perhaps he's not so keen on. I actually think he ticks a lot of the boxes for what I want from this kind of player. And when he has played centre attacking mid, albeit on just one occasion, he got a 9.2 rating there, so why not give him the nod? The reason as well for bringing him in is Sesko's been a little bit quiet as of late. Lopez has been getting goals from centre attacking mid. We're going to see what he can do from the striking position today. That's the challenge for you, Royman. Elsewhere in the team, Ari is out on the right. The injuries we have defensively cause a bit of a shuffle. We see, obviously, Soleil come into the team alongside Marlon Adriano, who continues to develop superbly. Braz and Kene continued to develop a newfound partnership in the midfield. You'll notice a sea of green lines connecting all the players, which is nice. And definitely give Well, definitely worth giving, I suppose, a little shout out to Tomov. You are developing well, my little Bulgarian friend. I say little. He's 187 centimetres. He's bigger than me. But I'll tell you what a shot stopper he is. Showing great signs of development. I think for £2 million, we've got ourselves a really good goalkeeper, to be honest. But anyway, let's get into the game against Nantes today. As I mentioned, this is kind of a big one. A good result here for Nantes could see them leap as high as 5th and really become one of the teams hot on our heels. Over the last month, there has been a bit of a gap emerge between ourselves in 4th and the teams chasing the Champions League spots. A win here would only help to preserve, if not extend that lead. So, fingers crossed, touch wood, we can get a good result today. We could go up to 3rd with this win here. And whilst PSG look a world away, I'm looking at 2nd in the league thinking that might be attainable this year. That's perhaps the dream and the aim. As we kick off this game, I do want to just apologise for the fact there wasn't an episode yesterday. That wasn't exactly planned. I've been having some issues since the most recent Football Manager where the game likes to crash a lot on me. And I lost a load of progress whilst playing through January, which was quite annoying and kind of just demotivated me yesterday. I've raised the issue with Sports Interactive. They're aware of it. They're looking into it. But basically, I can't leave the game running for more than a few hours at a time. Otherwise, it crashes. If you know how I play Football Manager, I'm not the quickest player of the game by any means. I like to mull over all the little details. And, I like to leave the game running in the background sometimes, which is not ideal with the issues I'm facing right now. So that has had a bit of an adverse impact on getting the videos out there. So, yeah, sorry, my bad. We're back today, though, which is the absolute main thing, albeit I might be recording at about 1 in the morning. It's not ideal. It's not optimal, but we are ready and good to go. And well, hopefully the team is ready and good to go here. This is a big game. Away from home, it's not going to be easy, but we're on a really, really good winning run that goes back a long way. Our home form has been significantly better than our away form, though. And, if teams have long shots like that, it might not be a winning run that keeps on going for long, because that was a really good opportunity for Nantes. Despite the fact that perhaps statistically we've had the better chances, we've had more shots. It's not yet showing, although Huskaric wins the ball. Coming in for Kofi today. We're giving him the nod. We're giving him the chance. That is a crunching tackle that could see a red card if I know my Football Manager. Referee, give him a red. Look, you can imagine. I wish there was an option. Feature request for FM21. Probably too late. The game is out in a month and a half. If I'm in the manager in this situation here, I want a button that allows me to demand a red card is given. Now, it might not be morally correct, but it happens in real life. And I'm the kind of guy who would be shouting at the referee to give him the red. There you go. And I'd also want to be able to talk smack to the player as he walks off the pitch. Nantes are down a man. That is a gift. We now need to say thank you very much for the gift and actually capitalise on it. Ari with a set piece whips it in. Of course, Marston out of his dislocated shoulder. He's not in the middle. Lopez shoots with what was like a tractor engine of a right foot. Unfortunately, goes narrowly wide. If that is the closest we're going to come to scoring after the red card, I will be bitterly disappointed. And whilst we do have a man advantage, we need to defend here. Bello just running inside. No one in competition. What is happening? The ball hits the outside the post. That was a weird Football Manager highlight, wasn't it? In fact, I say Football Manager highlight like it's over. It's never over. The ball is back in the mixer. It's headed away. Huskaric helps it on his way too. And we live to fight another day. Half time, I want to say quickly approaching. It's approaching far too quickly for my liking. We were dominant before the red card. We remained dominant after the red card. I'm now looking at our players to get the goals. And, well, we have goals on the bench if we need them. We can bring in Sesko, who would normally lead the line. Bit of experimentation today, which might seem odd, but the fixture congestion has been pretty real since the restart over the month of January. And, well, we've got it right. We've got to go down, make the changes, pull the trigger on them. Huskaric for Kofi. Harvey Elliott, you've not really done the business today. I'm going to take you off. Bring Sesko in up front. I'm sure Miroslav on the bench is wondering, as the European Golden Boy, why he's not being given the nod to go up top. The simple answer is, I like Sesko more. I'm sorry, Miroslav, you've got to earn my trust. I mean, he's not yet scored in the league, to be fair, the Serbian youngster. So, can I really justify bringing him on? I'm not sure I can. But a double change this early on in the half. We mean business, everyone. Also, they've dropped their centre attack in mid. So with that in mind, you know what? We're going to push our centre mids forward. Yes, we are going to commit more to the attack. Because I'm a little less fearful of what they can do on the break. So no more defensive mids. No more Mr. Defensive guy. They are now centre mids. They're evolving like Pokemon. And, well, hopefully it's going to see our attack look a little more potent. Hopefully our attacking stats are going to go up. I could go into way more nerdy detail about Pokemon attacks. I'm not going to do it. What I'm going to do is say, let's focus on the pitch. If they score again, we panic. That time, let off just a little bit. The shot goes wide. They're having these speculative shots from range, but they've looked pretty good, the chances they've had so far. And in fact, they've got a set piece here. Ball whipped in. It's headed away. Could we catch them on the break? Sesko, big ball forward to Lopez. What can you do, Royman? What can you do? Back with Felipe Jonathan. Jonathan has been absolutely unreal at left back. He's like a magician. He can pull something out of a hat. Kene just hit the post. I thought the keeper had saved it, but no, it was actually just the wrong side of the post. A really good opportunity there, unfortunately squandered. Let's try and work the ball into the box. Let's try and craft out a really good opportunity in the last 20 minutes here. Have still got one last sub in our back pockets, and I'm going to use it now. Lopez has not been good enough today. I'm going to bring in Ortiz. Sergio, my little Mexican amigo. You're being told that you should be in the next Mexican national team. Let's put in a performance here off the bench that attracts the attention of the Mexican national team manager. A player who we've been training to be a more defensive midfielder because we brought him in to be a deep line playmaker, but he has attacking instinct in him. I need that attacking instinct today as Tushy has an effort that goes just wide. 10 minutes though. 10 minutes. I want to get shouty. How are we losing this 1-0? Football Manager, don't do this to me. They're looking to play it out from the back. Ortiz wins it. What can you do? What can you... I thought he was going to give a pen. I shouted... I was about to say penalty prematurely. They actually won the ball, but the ball is not dealt with. Kene, please don't shoot from range. Felipe crosses it. Ortiz is there. Get him in the Mexican national team. Get him in the Mexican national team. He deserves to be there. Third goal of the season for him. As I said, he has attacking instincts, everyone. And at this point, you might think, Jack, just go more defensive. Accept the... No, we're going for the win. They're down a man. We've been dominating this game. And Felipe Jonathan, I'll tell you what, he's been a really great signing at left back. I feel like every live com he pops up with an assist or a goal. He loves the limelight. He loves the spotlight. It's like he knows when OBS is recording and I'm watching. Anyway, a minute and a half here. A win would be huge, to be clear. A win would take us up to third. This is not an easy game away from home against a team challenging for European football. Kene, all on his lonesome and... well, he's going to be on his lonesome at the back of the bus. No one is going to want to sit next to him after this game on the trip back to Luzenac. He shoots wide of the post. 50 seconds left. 50 seconds to try and get... I mean, it feels like the pointless highlight, doesn't it? But I want to believe... I feel like my job as the commentator here in this situation, not just the manager, is to make you believe the comeback could happen. The goal could still come. I mean, there is still time. There is, he says, as 20 seconds is left on the clock. There's still time, everyone. Let's believe. I mean, the more that they mess around with it at the back, the more I want to believe we could win it high up the pitch here. And, well, they give it to us. Ari, come on. One more chance, boys. Kene, please don't shoot again. Don't shoot again. He's hit the... I mean, he's hit the woodwork. It feels a bit selfish. It feels a bit silly of him. I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan. Have they got Luis Suarez up front? Is that the Luis Suarez? It's not the... I mean, it would have been far more impressive if they had the Luis Suarez, but they don't. 1-1. Look at the match stats and realise what's happened here. They've held on to the ball well at the back. We've not exactly pressed from the off. On another day, we take a few more of those chances and get a win. We've avoided defeat, which I probably would have taken going into that game. As I said, our home form has really been kind of the standout thing this year, but ultimately... that is a game that, as soon as the red card happens, really should be ours for the taking. If we just look at the home record, you can see here we've only lost one game at home. Our away record, by comparison, not nearly as impressive. In fact, that is the first away draw of the season. But nevertheless, it's not a home or an away record that matters. It's the overall record. And the fact of the matter is that despite drawing that game, we remain 10 points clear of Nantes with 16 games left of the season, which is a really nice spot to find ourselves in. Anyway, looking further ahead, we've got that Lyon and PSG game. I think we'll do those as a double header. I don't expect us to do any transfer business, to be honest, although we have still got a couple of days left. The board simply just didn't give me any money. We have $7 million to spend, a bit of wage budget. Considering we've got £64 million in the bank, I feel like they're being a bit tight with their cash. But you know what? I'm not going to complain a great deal because I'm pretty content with the squad. I feel like obviously the signing of Milan Deco just gives us a little bit more coverage at centre-back if the worst comes to worst, because, yeah, we do have 3 players currently out injured in that area of the pitch, and another one, and we would be in a bit of a pickle, as I believe scientists say. But as things stand right now, in fact, you can see Soleil's now got suspended, so it's probably a good job I did bring in another centre-back, because I think we're down 4 now, which is a bit mad. I mean, I'm doing all this micromanagement. You don't need to worry. We're playing Saint Etienne next. It's in the league. It should be a game that we win. Will we win it? I mean, probably not, if anything like this is to go by how we've done today. But anyway, next episode, we'll probably do the Lyon Cup game and the PSG game as a double header. Should be kind of exciting. If there's anything you would like to see me cover in tomorrow's episode, please do let me know. As I said, apologies for the lack of an episode yesterday. Apologies for the fact that the next episode is only going to be in about a week's time. But a combination of PC issues and wanting to do the games against the big boys means I want to come back tomorrow for those ones there. Anyway, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. Thank you so much for watching as always. Appreciate the support on the series. I will see you guys again tomorrow for certain. And yeah, I will catch you guys in a bit. It's me, Jack, and I'll see you guys soon. I've forgotten my outro after a day without doing a video. End it. Time it. Cut the... I've forgotten the...